Today, by popular demand, we're going to be taking a look at the Japanese folklore hero, Kintaro. We're going to be taking a look at his origins, portrayals in Japanese culture, and we're also going to be taking a look at several exemplary traditional Japanese tattoos. Kintaro, also known as Golden Boy, is a Japanese folk hero depicted as having red skin and superhuman strength. He's usually depicted wearing a bib with a character for gold or king on it, and also carrying a hatchet wherever he goes. Now, there are competing origin stories as to where Kintaro came from, but all of them point to Mount Ashigara near Hakone, where he was presumably raised by a mountain witch or a Yamauba. Tales of Kintaro's superhuman strength include him smashing rocks and uprooting trees with his bare hands, fighting bears, wild boar, giant carp, and other wild creatures, and subduing yokai or supernatural beings, and being friends with animals of the forest. On a character note, Kintaro is known for using his abilities for the good of humankind and for helping villagers wherever he went. As an adult, he was known as Kintoki or Golden Time, and he is said to have served as retainer for the legendary samurai Minamoto no Yorimitsu and Watanabe no Tsuna. On a curious note, in the West, Kintaro is often confused for another Japanese boy folk hero known as Momotaro or Peach Boy. However, an easy way to distinguish between the two is by the fact that Kintaro has red skin. Now, diving into actual traditional Japanese tattooing compositions, this first work is by the Tokyo-based Ryuichiro. Here we see a great modern reinterpretation of the famous Yoshitsuya woodblock print. You can see Kintaro cracking open a giant serpent's mouth. You can see his hatchet. You can see Momiji in the background. And it's just a very beautiful, very powerful depiction of Kintaro in action. I actually recently conducted a Japanese interview with Ryuichiro, which I translated and posted on the Waboripedia Instagram page. So if you haven't read it already and you would like to learn more about this fantastic horishi or traditional Japanese tattooer, then I highly encourage that you check it out. Now, this second work here is by the Tokyo and Nagasaki-based Monta Morino, and here we see Kintaro wrestling a car. You can see Monta Morino's signature style and display, those very thick and powerful lines and colors, and this is very representative of a style that we are seeing more and more come to fruition today. Very beautiful, very bold, very powerful. This third composition is by the New York-based Rodrigo Melo. Here we see Kintaro riding a carp with a beautiful waterfall background and Momiji, and it's just a very beautiful, very traditional-looking composition. I also happen to have interviewed Rodrigo Melo as part of the video, The Figure Behind the Ink interview series, right here on YouTube and in Spotify. So if you would like to learn more about Rodrigo Melo, his work, see more of his beautiful compositions and display, then I do encourage you to check it out as well. This fourth composition is by the Tokyo-based Horisho. Here we see a great modern reinterpretation of the Kuniyoshi classic. It has been beautifully executed in a nukibori style that is without the traditional background. And here you can see Ikebukuro Horisho's skill and display in the way that he adopted the woodblock print original and just made it his own. Now, we also happen to have interviewed Ikebukuro Horisho as part of the written version of the Figure Behind the Ink interview series, now posted in Instagram. So if you would like to learn more about this fantastic horishi, then you should check that one out as well. The fifth and last composition that we're taking a look at is by the Osaka-based Hitoshi family member, Horiharu. Here we see an amazingly rich and detailed depiction of Kintaro. You can see him riding the carp. You can see amazing movement in the water, in the cherry blossoms or the sakura. And it's a very high impact composition that even though it has the traditional limited color palette, it still has that very powerful and renowned Hitoshi family style flair. Now, to wrap things up, we talked about Kintaro, or the Golden Boy, a Japanese folklore hero known as a boy with superhuman strength, and as an adult, as a fierce warrior. We walked through 5 traditional Japanese tattoos, all depicted in very different styles, and all featuring Kintaro and his legendary feats. I hope you found this clip useful. If you would like to see more figures covered, specific themes related to traditional Japanese tattooing, culture, or even interviews with certain horishi, just drop me a line, let me know, and I'll check it out. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you haven't checked out the Waboripedia book, then you should definitely check it out, and stay tuned for more.